All right, we're back. Here's example number 2. So g of x is equal to negative x times the quantity x plus 6. If we want to go ahead and find the x-intercepts, we are going to have to solve for 0. So first off, the fact that the function is negative does not affect our zeros at all. So when we solve, really, when you think about it, taking -1 and setting it equal to 0, we can't. So really what happens here is that this negative doesn't really do a whole lot for you. Can -1 be set equal to 0 to solve? No. Can x be set equal to 0 to solve? Yeah. So we can go ahead and set x equal to 0. We can go ahead and set the quantity x plus 6 equal to 0. But like we said, that -1 just kind of stays there. Doesn't affect what our x-intercepts are. So the fact that x is 0, it's already isolated. So one of our x-intercepts is 0, 0. For this second one, we can subtract 6 from both sides. We get that x is equal to -6. So therefore, our second x-intercept is -6, 0. And here are our two x-intercepts. So now if we want to go ahead and find the y-intercept, that is the coordinate point 0, y. Our x value is always going to be 0. So we can go ahead and substitute 0 in any time that we see x. So y is equal to -1 times 0, which is just 0, unfortunately. And then 0 plus 6 is 6. If you are unsure of your final answer because of that value of 0, always double check it in your calculator. If you remember, anything times 0 is just going to be 0. But if you're still unsure, go ahead and double check. -0 times 6 is just 0. So our y value is 0. So therefore, our y-intercept is 0, 0, which is the origin. That's great. Okay, so now we want to find the equation of the axis of symmetry by averaging the two zeros. So like we did in that first example problem, we're going to take the two zeros, we're going to add them together. 0 plus -6 is just equivalent to -6. By averaging them, we'll divide by 2, and we get -3. So therefore, our axis of symmetry is the equation of a line where x is equal to -3. So now for part D, in order for us to find the vertex, we're going to take that axis of symmetry. We're going to plug it in for x because on your vertex, it is crossing through that middle point of the parabola. Your vertex is either the very lowest point or the very highest point of your parabola. So we can go ahead and say that y is equal to negative times -3 times -3 plus 6. Remember that -1 does just stay out in front until we need to multiply it at the very end. Y is equal to -1 times -3. That -1 is really right there. You can write the -1. You could leave it as just negative. It's a personal choice. -3 plus 6 is just +3. So if we plug that into our calculator, -1 times -3 times +3 is going to give you a +9. Y equals +9. We can go ahead and draw in that axis of symmetry right there. Okay. And then we can go ahead and plug in the x-intercepts, which are 0, 0, and -6, 0. And we can go ahead, actually, there's no other y-intercept to plot because your y-intercept is the same as one of your x-intercepts. So really, this is the parabola right there. So now if we want to put p of x into standard form, we could say, this is really g of x, but that's okay. G of x is equal to negative times x plus 6. So g of x is equal to x times x is x squared. X times 6 is 6x. And now we'll save that negative value for the very end, and we'll distribute a negative to everything on the inside. So g of x is equal to negative x squared minus 6x. And that is our function. So with that, your last example on your homework is example problem number 3, which really is just It's not labeled example problem number 3. It's just labeled practice. Now, there is no video for this last example problem because we would like you to check your work by plugging this into your graphing calculator. So you can go ahead and plug this in to Y1. Make sure your x-intercept, so second trace 0, is the same. Make sure you see an axis of symmetry. Make sure your vertex is the same, so second trace, and then either pick max or min. But other than that, there is no video for this last example problem. We want to see what you can do as students, and we want to make sure that you can check your work with your graphing calculator. So with that, have an awesome night. I apologize for the video. I don't know, my computer is about to die, so sorry for the little break in the video, but we will see you tomorrow in class. Goodbye, everyone.